Tell me why I get so mad when an ugly man approaches me.
So am I like the only woman that no longer gets approached by men?
Okay, so last night I was talking to my friend and I was telling her about how I'm gonna trap a man because I'm almost 38.
After another man wasted my time.
There's many reasons why men don't approach anymore. They're just learning to value themselves.
Why does a man stare at you but never approach you?
Obviously, as a woman would like the men to approach me, but nowadays it hasn't been happening. Feels like the roles have been switched.
Let me tell you what I have noticed. I've noticed that when I go out, men don't approach me.
If they don't approach you, they just don't like what they see. These men are being careful.
Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
Okay, men, let's talk. I got more questions. If we've matched on a dating site and I see you in person, I'm gonna come up and talk to you. Is that cool? Blondes or redheads? Biggest turn off?
Why are men under the impression that women do everything to try to seek their validation? I don't care if you don't like my nose piercing, or my cleft lip, or my hair, or my body.
So am I like the only woman that no longer gets approached by men? No, because I had to actually sit and think about this, and I had to ask myself, when is the last time a man came up to me and wanted to get to know me or exchange numbers? And it's been a long time. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely has me questioning myself. Like, am I not as attractive as I thought I am? Am I looking old? Am I intimidating? Like, what is it? So now I'm starting to realize that since men don't come up to me, I have to be the one to go up to them. And that makes me super nervous because it's like, how do I know I'm not going to get rejected if you didn't come up to me in the first place and then I make the decision to go up to you? How do I know I won't face rejection? So can I get some tips and tricks, some advice on how to approach a man that I think is cute? Because I have no idea how to. Like, I'm scared and I feel like I can only approach men if I'm drunk, which is not often.
Here are comments we tired of getting rejected by girls on our level or even below. We just go play our PlayStations and call it a day. We're used to getting attitudes or ignored, so we gave up that part of the game. I only got approached by men when I was in my 20s. Now that I'm in my 30s, I just get like glances and smiles while I'm out, but men online try to hit on me more, which I find very weird. I've noticed the older we get, the less it happens. It's all good youthful glow is gone, that's my assumption. I only get approached by old uncles. People my age just stare. When it comes down to it, it's really about being careful. Men aren't necessarily afraid or intimidated, they're just seeing more risk than reward. And that's why a lot of them hold back, choosing caution over jumping in headfirst. Imagine if women started making the first move more often. It could actually change things for the better. It would show men that women are just as interested and willing to take the initiative. But let's be real, some women might not like that idea. They're too attached to their ego, waiting for someone else to approach. They'd rather lie in bed whispering. Where are all the men at instead of actually getting out there to find one?
The most frustrating thing about men is the fact that they refuse to acknowledge when they are being flirted with. They'll go, "You're so handsome," and they just go... They look so confused to the point where you're like, they obviously want nothing to do with me. That's okay. Won't do that again. And later you find out they liked you the whole time. So, what?
Dude, I really don't know what it is, but whenever I make eye contact with men, I look at them and I'm like, ew. Like, I get disgusted. Like, why are you so ugly? Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me and then why are you so ugly? Or the other way around.
Here are comments. Women don't approach men because they do not want to be denied. That is what it is. Simple as that. Denial is a woman's worst nightmare. 30% of women have spoken for 100 of women and said, we don't want men to approach us. We are independent. Please don't approach us. Men are creepy. We choose the bear. I swear to God, women will cry a lot in 2030 and beyond. By that time, all men would have given up. Stay single, kings, because those looks will fade and age will creep up. Then she'll be on TikTok where the good men at. Women will post videos like this and then wonder why men don't approach them. I mean, what exactly do they think men will think when they see this? It's actually wild because these are the women who make it harder for the ones who genuinely want a real relationship. It's like their goal is to push men away and then complain about why men aren't approaching them. They're practically broadcasting "don't come near me," but then ask, where are all the good men? It's a mixed message that's pushing people away.
What does it mean when a man is not pursuing you? You know why he's not pursuing you? Because you're not that girl. He's just not into you. Another reason why a man is not pursuing you, he got somebody. He probably met you and thought you was an easy lay, and he's just not into you. Maybe he slept with you already, or he already did, or he didn't sleep with you, but it's not worth the risk. He is in a relationship, so you're not worth the risk. You're not worth losing his family. That's why he's not pursuing you. You're not that girl.
Something that was taught to me since young is to never allow myself to fall into a victim mentality. And I think that that's the problem with a lot of women these days, is that you let yourselves fall into this victim mentality, and then that's where the no accountability comes from. That's where blaming men comes from. Because rather than looking inwards and seeing, okay, what did I learn from this? What can I do? What did I do wrong in the situation? You're choosing to be a victim. And that doesn't help anyone, especially not you.
Here's the thing, blaming men is just easier for them. If they pointed the finger at themselves, they'd actually have to think about what they could improve. And let's be honest, that's a lot harder than playing the victim. The truth is, if they stopped playing the victim, they'd have to admit they were wrong. And for some, that's just not fair in their eyes. It's easier to shift the blame than to take responsibility. It's not that they can't change, they just won't, because blaming others is the path of least resistance.
Tell me why I get so mad when an ugly man approaches me or tries to hit on me. Like, the audacity, like, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
These are the women aiming for men way outside their dating pool because they think they're way more attractive than they actually are. In reality, they're just average. I mean, if you strip away the fake eyelashes and layers of makeup, you'd see their true selves. They walk around with this inflated sense of ego, acting like they're God's gift to men. But here's the kicker, the high-caliber men they're chasing. They're not interested. At all. Do they ever stop to consider that maybe they're not as stunning as they think? It's wild they don't see it. And honestly, if a woman's presenting a filtered version of herself with makeup and effects, can she really judge a man on his looks alone? It just doesn't add up. A little self-awareness would go a long way, right?
I hate when guys approach me. Why? Because I don't want to be bothered? Like, clearly, I'm doing something. Go away. Okay, so I guess you meet guys online then? Ew, no, what kind of creep stalks my IG and DMs me? Oh, okay, so you approach the guys then. What? Why would I ever date a guy who didn't have the confidence to approach me? But you just said you hate when guys approach you. Yeah, only when I'm clearly doing something. Plus, those guys are always super awkward anyway. How is a guy supposed to know when you're clearly doing something? And yeah, of course he's going to be a little bit awkward. He's starting a conversation out of thin air with a girl who may or may not be attracted to him and may or may not be busy. I mean, just approach me at a bar or a club. That's when I tend to meet guys. You mean when you're drunk and impulsive? Yeah. How do those relationships tend to go?
What do you think the issue is with dating right now?
Social media, 100%.
What about it?
We have so many role models that are not doing the right thing right now. So, for example, one of them would be Sexy Red, Cardi B. So we have role models that we look up to the wrong people, I would say, and we forget how feminine and how we were brought up to this world to be wives, to cook, to clean, and to be submissive to men. So I would blame the feminists as well, honestly, because we forget that men are here to work and to take care of us. So we're playing the man role, and I don't think that's the right thing to do right now. We forget
a man should be a man, and a woman should be a woman.
That's what men are for, to take care of us.
Okay, so we provide and protect.
Exactly.
Monetarily wise too?
Yes, of course.
What do women bring then?
We don't bring shit. We just give birth. That's it.
That's how you look at it?
Yeah, of course. That's how if you really analyze the situation, that's all we're good for, to give birth. I mean, you can cook for yourself, you can clean for yourself, you can do everything for yourself.
Honestly, she has a point. Technically, a man can do almost everything for himself except give birth. And that's where a woman's role becomes unique. But a lot of these feminist-leaning women don't want to accept that reality. It's like they're trying to prove something. But here's the thing, acknowledging that doesn't make a woman less than it's just part of biology, and embracing it doesn't diminish anyone's value. We all bring unique strengths to the table, and recognizing that can actually bring us closer together, not divide us.
Okay, so last night I was talking to my friend, and I was telling her about how I'm gonna trap a man because I'm almost 38. And I'm like, this is how I'm gonna do it, is I'm gonna have no standards whatsoever. And she took this long pause and she like looked off and then she looked back at me and she was like, Lindsay, you still had standards?
Why don't guys want relationships anymore?
Because why invest in something that's going to hurt? You see, I don't think this is a gender bias thing. I think in general, less and less people are interested in relationships because Why do you need them? You have the chance to hook up with somebody with a swipe on an app. Fill that little void of missing affection and then go back to your life with no strings attached. I know guys will say that every girl's the same and no girl wants a nice guy. And girls will say that no guy wants a relationship, all they want to do is hook up. And I think the common thing here is that everyone's saying how they feel instead of living the life and actually feeling it. We go hunting on our phones for somebody to love, but we don't actually want to be loved. We'd rather just have a story to tell. So the issue isn't that men don't want relationships, but yet the majority is just not ready and they rather just be stuck people watching.
Commitment can be a pretty scary thing, especially for guys who've been burned before. Many of these men who are hesitant to date again have gone through relationships that left them feeling broken and damaged. They've faced betrayal, disappointment, or emotional pain that's made them wary of opening up again. It's not about bitterness, it's about self-preservation. These experiences make them hesitant to trust or invest in someone new, fearing the same hurt could happen all over again. For them, it's easier to stay single and avoid relationships than to risk another heartbreak. It's not that they don't want love, they just need time and space to heal from past damage.
The only thing I need men for is reproduction and a double income. That's it. Nothing else.
Some of my guy friends gave me permission to make a Hinge account for him.
And why is that?
Because I was telling him how easy dating is with dating apps. And he was telling me that it's incredibly difficult. And I was like, Pete, you must be doing something wrong. And he gave me permission to create an account for him and just run the account.
And how is it going so far, being a guy on a dating app?
I've been a virtual boy for 3 days. And I've never felt this bad about myself. I feel like a freaking loser trying to get these girls to like me. And I'm starting to hate women.
Oh dear, it doesn't sound like it's going very well at all. But let's hear what's going on.
Pete's about a 6. But I'm so desperate, I'm liking the 2s and the 3s, and even they won't like me back, Pete, which is a 6.
Gee, I wonder what could be going on here.
So what level of delusion has entered women's heads? Like, what is going on? It is so difficult dating as a boy. I hate it. I'm on day 3 of being a boy, and I hate women, and I'm more depressed than ever.
That is truly unfortunate, and I am genuinely sorry to hear that. But in my opinion, this is just a reflection of the times that we are currently living in, which so many people, in this case, a great many women, are very heavily influenced every single day by what they see on social media, that they are absolutely convinced that they all should be going for the same group of men, the ones that are considered to be 10s by most of society. And unfortunately, they are missing out on a lot of great opportunities because just because a guy doesn't look like a 10 doesn't mean that he might not be an actual 10 in regards to what type of person he is and his personality.
Here are the comments: online dating is the worst. I gave up years ago. My soulmate will have to find me in my living room. They base their relationships off of very superficial things, then wonder why they're unhappy down the line. It's all very sad. It's so worthless for us average to below average guys. No matter what I do, women never respond. That's why I've just gave up and will just stay single. Too much effort and almost nothing in return. So, this woman's been on dating apps for 3 days and is already overwhelmed by what men go through on a daily basis. Meanwhile, there are guys who've been swiping for months just trying to get one decent date. For a lot of men, this is just the reality of online dating: constant effort with very little to show for it. They swipe left and right, send countless messages, make the first move almost every time, and still it's like shouting into the void. Yet some of these women claim that men have it easier when it comes to dating? Really? Most guys are ignored or overlooked, struggling to get a conversation started, let alone set up a date. When they do finally get a date, there's no guarantee it'll lead anywhere. For many men, online dating feels like a never-ending uphill battle, where frustration just keeps building.
Welcome back to another episode of How I've Pissed Off Men. Like part 9, I think. Step 1. Exist. That should do it. Come back for more helpful tips.
If you are a traditional woman who's got no, pictures on Instagram, who isn't going out all day, every day, who isn't sleeping around and isn't getting lots of surgery and not putting on loads of makeup, and you're simple, just a traditional woman, there's no reward in that. You will never find a date. You'll never find a man that says, here, let me take you out. Here, let me do this. Whereas if you are the most promiscuous, provocative, dangerous woman, your DMs are endless and you are booked every single day of the week and you get to choose which country you want to fly out to. So humans are going to look at where's the most reward. And they're going to lean towards whatever's most rewarding and profitable, unfortunately.
Contrary to popular belief, there are men out there genuinely looking for traditional women to build a life with. These guys aren't interested in games or casual flings. They truly value commitment, loyalty, and the idea of settling down. While there are players out there chasing the thrill of the chase, the men who seek traditional relationships are hoping to find someone with shared values and a vision for the future. They see a traditional woman as more than just a partner. She's someone who brings stability and a sense of purpose to the relationship. Especially in a time where dating feels like a losing game filled with deception and superficial encounters, these men would be incredibly grateful to find a traditional woman by their side. They're looking for a meaningful connection that goes beyond physical attraction, aiming to build a life and family together.
After another man wasted my time during a talking stage, I honestly don't know if I want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I give up. I'm not doing another talking stage. I am done dating. That's why I don't be telling my mom or my friends anymore about any of these little situations, because it's like I could go on a couple dates and then they could ask me about it the next week and I'll be like, who? Oh yeah, we stopped talking already. Like, no, that was a doozy. A doozy. It's really not easy out here because you will go on a date with a guy and maybe it'll go great. Maybe the second date will go great. But then by the third date, he'll either say something or stop trying to take you out, give you sketchy vibes. I am good on all that. Thank you very much. Next. I literally have a picture of exactly what I want, the exact kind of man I want. It has nothing to do with what he looks like. I could literally transfer, like Build-A-Bear, the little qualities that I want in a man and put it in literally anyone, and I would probably fall in love with them. Why we just have to keep trying. I mean, literally by like the 500th guy, and I will be waiting until that. Otherwise, I will be alone, happily alone.
This actually makes a lot of sense, and it's something a lot of people are dealing with, including men. The ones who are genuinely looking to date and build something real keep running into people who aren't looking for anything serious. It's really just a mismatch, a disconnect between people's intentions. You have people wanting real connections running into those just looking for a good time, and that's leading to a lot of disappointments and discouragements.
All I fucking want in my life is to be able to dress the way that I've always wanted, but I can't. And the reason I can't is because I'm fat, and I know people are like, fat girls can wear whatever. I'm the type of fat where it looks fucking disgusting, okay? Under these clothes, I can hide it. It looks fine. Oh yeah, you might be chunky, but your body's, it's a nice shape. You got no, bitch. I don't have a nice shape. I can hide it very well. And it's fucking disgusting the way that I look. And I hate it. And, other bitches who look like me, I'm like, oh, you look so good. Why do I look so fucking nasty? I am disgusting. And I fucking hate my body. Okay? And all I want, I'm clothes shopping and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And in my head, I'm like, should I buy it? I might be able to wear it someday. You stupid bitch. You stupid fucking bitch. My biggest insecurity is my tatas. I fucking hate those bitches. Boob job? Anybody? Who wants to pay? Please help.
Well, madam, it looks like you've pinpointed your problem. If you want to be more appealing, self-improvement is a fantastic place to start. Just hating on your body isn't going to get you anywhere. If you want better, you've got to put in the work. It's all about embracing that journey of growth and making positive changes. And hey, speaking of putting in the effort, Mondays are kind of like men, they always seem to come too soon. But just like Mondays, they can also be an opportunity to start fresh and make things happen.
Mondays are kind of like men. They always come too soon.